Republican Representative Cory, Mills of Florida, currently navigating multiple controversies, is the most recent incumbent to experience defeat in a party primary amid a notable wave of congressional turnovers in the 2026 election cycle. According to data from the Center for Politics at the University of Virginia, 12 members of the House of Representatives and 2 senators have unsuccessful in their renomination efforts this year. Kyle Kondik, communications director for the center, emphasized that such numbers are historically high for a year that is not marked by full national redistricting. Kondik observed that previous instances of higher incumbent losses have typically coincided with comprehensive national redistricting cycles, making this year's figures particularly significant. While recent targeted redistricting in certain states contributed to several incumbents' defeats, a range of additional elements played decisive roles. These included scandals affecting individual lawmakers, efforts by former President Donald Trump to influence Republican primary outcomes, the increasing advocacy among Democrats for generational change, and targeted campaigns by progressive factions within the Democratic Party to challenge moderate or establishment-backed candidates. Several recent Democratic primaries have resulted in victories for challengers affiliated with or supported by the Democratic Socialists of America, DSA, or similar left-leaning organizations. In Michigan, Representative Shri Thaindar lost to State Representative Donovan McKinney, a DSA member. In New York, Representative Dan Goldman was defeated by Brad Lander, a progressive former city controller allied with socialist Mayor Zoran Mamdani. Representative Adriano Espaillat, chair of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus, was unseated by Darializa Avila Chevalier, a young community organizer and DSA member, underscoring both ideological and generational shifts within the party. Similar dynamics were observed in Colorado, where the long-serving Representative Diana DeJette was ousted by DSA member Melet Kairos, and in Texas, where a redrawn House seat precipitated a generational contest between Representatives Christian Menifee and Al Green. Redistricting also led to high-profile primary contests in Texas, including the runoff in the 33rd Congressional District between Representative Julie Johnson and her predecessor Colin Allred, resulting in a victory for Allred. In Connecticut, generational change was again evident as former Hartford Mayor Luke Bronin defeated 30-year congressional veteran John Larson in the Democratic primary. Influence from former President Trump has reshaped several key Republican races as well. Senator Bill Cassidy of Louisiana, who voted to convict Trump during his second impeachment trial, was defeated in his primary contest. In Texas, Senator John Cornyn lost his renomination bid to State Attorney General Ken Paxton, who received a late endorsement from Trump. Representative Thomas Massie of Kentucky, known for his criticism of Trump, was unseated by Ed Galrine, who had the former president's support. Representative Dan Crenshaw of Texas lost to State Representative Steve Toth, a more conservative challenger backed by Senator Ted Cruz, despite Trump's neutrality. In Tennessee, Representative Andy Ogles, despite an endorsement from Trump, was defeated by Charlie Hatcher, whose campaign was supported by prominent Republican figures such as Governor Bill Lee and former Governor Bill Haslam. In Florida's 7th Congressional District, a crowded Republican primary resulted in Ryan Elijah, a former local news and sports reporter, emerging victorious over Mills. Elijah's campaign focused on a House Ethics Committee investigation into Mills and a prior restraining order stemming from allegations made by a former partner, which Mills has denied. Other incumbent losses have been shaped by personal controversies. In Texas, Republican Representative